This is the Super Bowl Special Edition Fant4sy Podcast.
Welcome, everybody. This is the Fant4sy Podcast, and we've got Landon,
Andrew,
Ford,
and Doug.
Welcome back, everybody. This is technically our second season, if you will, of the Fant4sy Podcast. And the first season was based on, just a few NFL weeks throughout the season, and we finished that up with a playoff prediction episode. And real quick, we'll go over who predicted the best and who predicted the worst. So two people have both teams in the Super Bowl, and that is Andrew and that is Doug. They both have the Chiefs and they both have the Eagles. Ford had, let's go start with myself. I had the Chiefs and the 49ers, their quarterback situation. Let's talk about that real quick. Y'all think if Brock Purdy does not get injured there, do they have a chance?
No.
I don't know.
I don't think
No.
Brock Purdy's the kind of guy
I
that
don't
can.
think so.
He's not the kind of guy you miss out on, and that's the reason you lose the game.
Maybe they score a couple more touchdowns, but nothing too drastic on the back.
Yeah, I think it'd definitely be a closer game. It's not even a question. But
Yeah.
Yeah. That sucked though for them. Losing your quarterback, not having. I mean, they lost their backup too.
and it just
Josh
makes their quarterback situation for next year so much more complicated because
Yeah.
like Jimmy G's not coming back, but I mean Trey Lance, Brock Purdy, it's just such a strange situation.
Three
Will
guys.
they bring Brock back, or you starting Trey?
Well, Purdy's out for the beginning of the year, so and Garoppolo's gone. Shanahan already said that, so I have no idea.
Where's Jimmy G gonna go?
No idea. No clue. But I mean, we know he's gone. Shanahan said he doesn't see any situation where Jimmy G returns. So where does he go? Somewhere like the Saints or Carolina or somewhere strange that it's really not going to make a difference anyway, I don't think.
Yeah, his career's probably over.
Wow.
I mean,
I
I don't think his career's
He
over.
could go to Indy too.
He
As
could
a
go
starter.
to Indy for sure. I don't think his career is over. I just think he's not going to be the reason the team is better for any reason. I think he'll play for a while, but
I just think his time as a starter is, slim to none.
yeah, it's coming to a close
yeah.
for sure.
Ford, we never got to hear Ford Super Bowl picks.
Yeah, we'll go back to that real quick.
So,
He was the unpopular opinion of the group. He had the boys reaching the NFC Championship, and they did not make it there, obviously. And he had the Bills and the Niners in the Super Bowl. Bills lost, Niners lost. So Ford will be the biggest loser of this playoff prediction. But yeah, shout out to Doug and shout out to Andrew though for getting those both correct. And if either of y'all would like to, y'all both have the Chiefs, by the way, winning the Super Bowl. And if one of y'all would like to switch, so y'all each have a different team, and so there's a true winner, we'll determine next week. If any of y'all would like to switch to the Eagles, you can. If not, all right.
I mean, I'm not switching, but we can play rock, paper, scissors.
I'm not playing rock, paper, scissors. It'll go down to who gets the score closer. I'm not switching.
Okay, you gonna do that then?
Yeah.
Okay,
I'm
that's
not
fine. All right, we'll do whoever gets the score closer, whoever, or the spread, whatever that nonsense is. Whoever gets that closer.
What if the Chiefs lose?
It's still, I mean, just whoever has the closest score, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, I guess whoever close the score, there will be a winner.
We'll find a way.
But yeah. So yeah, playoff predictions. I also have the Chiefs. Ford, you have the Chiefs in this game. You got the Eagles.
we want the Eagles this game.
Okay.
Bold.
Woo.
Kind of stay different, babe.
Oh, yeah.
Well, he had the
Oh,
Bills
yeah.
in the Super Bowl, so I don't know how much I trust
You're
him.
right
I'm just
to
kidding.
say.
That's true, yeah.
That's good stuff. Well, 3-1 Chiefs. 4's got the Eagles. We'll see how it goes. I'm excited personally. I mean, I think it'll be a great game.
too.
I mean, there's no chance it's not going to be a close game. Right? No chance. It's got to be back and forth in my mind, at least.
Super Bowls are always hard
Two.
to really judge because it's just nerves every year because Eagles were there 5 years ago. I said this in the last episode. The Eagles were there 5 years ago, but the team is completely different. New coach, new quarterback, new receivers. Everyone doesn't have any experience. And Mahomes, he's got some new receivers out there too that don't have much experience. But it's just Super Bowls are always so hard to judge as far as if it'll be a close game or not. I mean, on paper it should be, but you just never really know.
Oh, yeah. I'm ready for the game, man. I'm ready for the commercials. Can't wait for the yearly Super Bowl commercials. Hopefully they're good.
I just feel like every year they're getting worse and worse.
No, I've already
agree.
seen
They are.
I've seen some great ones from this year. I'm trying not to see them, but they just keep showing up. And there's one that's really good. I'm excited for.
Yeah, you're gonna be spoiled. They're not gonna be any fun for you.
I've only
Super Bowl
seen a
around.
few, but the few I've seen are
Few?
elite. So
We'll move on to our pick of the week for the Super Bowl. I'll go ahead and get it started. This prop is no longer on either board, Prize Picks or Underdog. I got it earlier in the week. But if you have a book, go ahead. Jalen Hurts under half an interception at Ford, at Doug. Y'all are both some haters. Anyways, the odds for the over is plus 120. The odds for the under is minus 150. So with that, he's thrown 6 interceptions this entire season, counting for the playoffs too, which is a total of 17 games for him. And the Chiefs actually ranked 10th in most interceptions for a team or for each team in the NFL this season. But that number doesn't really scare me just because in most of the Chiefs games this season, they've been playing with a lead. So the opposing quarterback has just continued to play from behind, having to force passes. And, they just can't play comfortable because they're always behind. And in the Super Bowl, I don't think that'll be the case. Maybe the Eagles will play from behind, but it won't be anywhere like between like 14 and 17, 14 to 20 points. Surely it'll be a 1, maybe 2 possession game for the entire game. So I'm not too worried about the Eagles having to play from behind and Hurts having to force throws. I think it'll just stay close, like I said. And, give me the under on half an interception for Jalen Hurts.
I'm also going with the Jalen Hurts under, but it's going to be a negative under for him. I'm going under his 238.5 passing yards. I took this against the 49ers, and what did the Eagles scored? 41 points, 34 points, something like that. And he had less than 200 passing yards in that game. So, I mean, it's not a matter of they just run the ball a lot. It's not a matter of the caliber of defense they play. I mean, he could throw for 500 yards in this game, but because of their scheme and how often they run the ball, and just Jalen Hurts not being that elite passer quite yet, I think this is pretty much a lock. I believe it's gone under and for the last 5, and it has. And the one time it went over by about 10 yards. So this might be a risky pick, but I just believe that Kansas City's not too worried about the pass. I think they're going to have that on lock. Their secondary is much improved from the previous years, so they should have no problem defending that. It's going to be a struggle to defend the run with their lack of really solid linebackers. So I'm going to take under 238 passing yards for Jalen Hurts.
Locked it down.
My pick is also another Jalen Hurts. But I'm going over 0.5 on his rushing touchdowns. I think. It's a Super Bowl. I think nothing else. There's no other games after this. I think Jalen Hurts' biggest threat is his run game, so they're gonna be running them all game. There's no point not to. I just think there's no way he doesn't end up getting a touchdown with that sneak that works so well with them. They go to a lot. I really don't see how he doesn't.
I like it. Doug, do you happen to have a Jalen Hurts prop as well?
No, actually, I don't.
I don't think there's any left.
Is Travis Kelce over a half a touchdown? He's had 3 this postseason already, and this is the Kelce Bowl. I believe in Arian Foster and what he said last week. It's all scripted, everything like that. So this is the safest bet. It's only at -105, but I still feel like he's probably the most reliable target on the field for Patrick Mahomes.
I like it.
sure.
I mean, yeah.
I might go bet that myself.
Yeah. Seems too good.
Good little odds for sure. Just like the +120 is for the over. If any of you haters want to go take the over for Hurts' interception. But yeah, so those are our pick of the weeks for the Super Bowl. And now we'll move on to who we got in the game and why. We already know who we all have, but go ahead and tell a little bit why. Personally, I have Kansas City. I just think I love Patrick Mahomes. He's the GOAT in my eyes. I mean, he will be the GOAT, I think. Whatever team he's on, that other team, they're going to lose. If Kelce and Mahomes are healthy, Mahomes doesn't need to be healthy. You can give him out there on one leg. He will still go out there and win the Super Bowl and prove why he's the GOAT. But yeah, the Eagles, they've looked incredible. Their offenses looked awesome. Their defenses looked awesome. Whole team just looked amazing this entire season. So if there's any team that can beat Patrick Mahomes, it would be the Eagles. So maybe Joe Burrow, JK. But yeah, maybe the Eagles. But Patrick Mahomes is the greatest quarterback we might ever see. And so give me him in this Super Bowl game. I mean, it's pretty simple.
Last time Kansas City was in the Super Bowl, they lost to Tampa Bay, and the only reason why they did is because of their defense that was to be desired and their horrible offensive line. And their offensive line is much improved this year. Orlando Brown's been playing solid, and a lot of guys have just stepped up when no one expected them to. So those issues from the previous Super Bowl are gone. Obviously, Tyreek Hill is also gone, but Patrick Mahomes has proven that doesn't really matter to him. It doesn't really make a difference. As long as someone's on the field, he can get them open. I'm going to go with a bold prediction here. There's been a lot of chatter about it. I think this is the game that Patrick Mahomes breaks out the behind-the-back pass. Late in the game, trick play, behind-the-back pass. He's been talking about it for months about how he's going to do it in the game. I think this is it. I think it's going to be a legacy game for him. It's really hard to tell who needs this game more, if that's even a thing. You know, does Mahomes need it more to cement his legacy without leaving any doubt, or does the young Eagles need it to kickstart their potential dynasty? It's going to be a battle for sure, but I'm going to say Mahomes just does what he does best. I don't think it really matters who's on the other side of that ball right now. He's gonna do some crazy things. I'm looking forward to it.
Billy Boy.
I'm gonna go against both y'all, and I'm going with the Eagles here. I'm not 100% sure, just because it is Mahomes. I do think he will end up arguably as the GOAT in the NFL, but I feel like the Eagles have a top 3 offense and a top 3 defense. The Chiefs have a top offense, but the defense is still kind of mediocre. But it's nothing crazy. And so I just think that'll be enough to give the Eagles the edge over them. I think it'll be high scoring. I don't think Mahomes is going to go out there and just not put any points up. But I don't think at the end of the day the Chiefs' defense will be able to stop. The Eagles' offense has just kind of dominated all season.
Yeah, I got the Chiefs too, obviously. I've been a Chiefs believer for a minute, ever since they've won like 3 or 4 Super Bowls in the past couple of years. There's not much stopping that. It seems like their team morale, like just around everybody in the locker room, is really, really strong, and it feels like they have a really good connection. And it just seems like in big time games, they usually show up. And when they do show up, it's a big time moment for all of them. So it's either, I mean, I think it's going to be a high scoring game too. Do I think it's going to be close? Not as close as many people think it's going to be. But it will be a good game. But the Chiefs were coming out on top just because they are the better overall team. But I'm not knocking the Eagles because they got a good offense and they got a great defense to beat all the other teams in the NFL. But the Chiefs are just sitting around the league in my eyes.
Now we're gonna give our scores for the Super Bowl. Personally, I think it will be a very close game, and the Chiefs are on top. So give me the Chiefs 27-24, winning by a field goal.
I've fought with myself
Uh,
for a score prediction. Ford wants to give his score first, apparently. Dude was interrupting me.
I thought you and Doug already gave you earlier.
No, he didn't. I've fought with myself about this for a while now. It's hard. In Super Bowls, you just really never know what's going to happen. A lot of weird stuff happens. A couple years ago, it was a lot more than a couple. It was probably about 8 years ago now. The Broncos opened the game with a safety. It's just you never really know, all the nerves, especially with the Eagles being inexperienced. So I got a weird score coming. I'm going to go Chiefs 37 and Eagles 29.
All right, Ford.
My score, not much thought went into it, but I'm going 35-31 Eagles.
And my score is 37-34 Chiefs.
Wow, that's really going to be close then. That is really going to be close.
All right, the Super Bowl is officially ended, and we were all correct. The Chiefs took it home by a very, very slight margin. It was 38-35. And to conclude our playoff predictions, we had Andrew.
Wait, hold on. Were we all correct, or did Ford pick the Eagles?
I thought Ford picked the Eagles.
I'm not letting that slide. I'm not letting that slide. He picked the Eagles.
Yeah, 3-1. Sorry, Ford. And he was the biggest loser beforehand of the Super Bowl, so he just...
It happens.
I mean, goodness.
Double win.
Yeah, wasn't a good run for me.
Maybe next year. But yeah, we love that. And so the game, 38-35. Mahomes, I think he's the GOAT. What's that, 5 years in the league, 2 Super Bowls, 2 Super Bowl MVPs, 2 MVPs?
Yeah.
Is that right?
And one offensive player of the year.
Yeah, and I just, at this point, it's just like, that's 40% of the seasons he's been in. He's got 2 rings, and it's just, I don't know. I think he's going to be better than Tom Brady once it's all said and done, but maybe I'm wrong.
Well, okay. The only thing I have to say about that is, like, how even do you think, like, both teams are between Brady's, all his Super Bowl teams and Kelsey, or not Kelsey, but Mahomes' teams? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, he did just lose Tyreek Hill. He did just lose Tyreek Hill, and he just proved that, I mean, he really didn't need him at all if he could just go out and win a Super Bowl without him.
I feel like I just feel like overall Mahomes is definitely better than Tom Brady. Tom Brady definitely was a clutch man.
Yeah, I think Mahomes will finish as the GOAT, but when Brady has 7 rings, you can't call him the GOAT yet.
Oh, not yet. Once Mahomes packs it up, I mean, I just feel like there's no chance. With this rate, exactly.
I was just saying he is definitely a better overall player than Tom Brady has been. I've never seen Tom Brady running around, throwing it on his side, going everywhere on the field.
Yeah.
I mean, me personally, I'd rather have Mahomes on my team over Brady.
Oh, yeah. If he plays as long as Brady did, if he ends up playing a full 20-year career, then that means he's on pace. I know pace is an interesting and sometimes dangerous thing to go by. He's on pace for what? So 4 more of these. So I mean, or 3. I guess it'd be 3 more of these. So we're talking about 8 Super Bowls, 8 MVPs. Like that's like, come on. But That's just a pace. But, I mean, to have this kind of start to a career is pretty unheard of. So.
Yeah, I mean, speak of that side of the game, or the game. Let's go to the other side. I mean, Jalen Hurts. I mean, he couldn't have played much better other than that fumble, maybe. I mean, every ball he threw was just there almost. He just made – there were so many times he got pressured. He had to scramble. He still made the throw. It was just – I had the half interception bet, the under. So that whole – every time he released the ball, I was just – and – I mean, he didn't disappoint, man. I thought it'd be a shootout between both quarterbacks, and it ultimately was. No interceptions on either side. Just about, I think it was 7, 8 total touchdowns for both of them. But just phenomenal game. That penalty, though, what do you think about the penalty, boys?
It's the right call.
Yeah.
Not much more to say about
it. It is the right call. You almost wish they'd let it play, though. Just it's the Super Bowl.
Well, and the reason – Go
ahead, Andrew.
No, go ahead, Doug. You're good.
I was going to say, I think a bigger question is, do you think Devontae Smith's catch was an actual catch?
Yes.
I mean, would you? I mean, I feel like it was a catch, man.
Yes.
You can't do all that and just call it off, bro.
It's a catch.
Even though, I mean, for the Eagles, for me, it's a blur because, I had Chiefs money line in my parlay, and I just really didn't want the Eagles to do anything, so I was rooting against them the entire time. But yeah, that's one thing I really just remember thinking that the Eagles are getting screwed is when they didn't call it a catch.
Yeah, it's one of those. It's tough to really judge it, but the best way to look at it is if that play had happened anywhere else on the field and it wasn't along the sideline, it would have been ruled a catch and a fumble because he secured control. He got 2 feet in bounds, took another step out of bounds, and then went to the ground and lost control of the ball. If that would have happened in bounds, it would have been a catch and a fumble. So why is that not a catch? If he maintains control, takes 2 full steps, takes another step to establish himself out of bounds, and then loses control on the ground. I can't remember when it was, but I think this exact situation happened where a guy caught the ball along the sideline and then hit the ground, lost control of it, and they called it a catch in this regular season. So, I don't know. It's a tough call to make, but when you have that long to look at it and you call it a catch on the field, it's hard to imagine you overturning that. It really is.
Yeah, it's hard to say if it made the game, but that really would have helped the Eagles out, tremendously, obviously. But
I think the hold was a hold, and obviously you wish you just let it go,
right.
Simply because the ending would have been more entertaining. Regardless, Kansas City kicks a field goal and goes up 3. The only thing that changes is the Eagles have a chance to go down and do something. So it would have provided a more exciting finish and obviously would have given Philadelphia a chance. But the right call was made. Bradbury admitted that he held him. The Eagles aren't going with that excuse, so we can't either.
Yeah. Personally, I was super stoked to see Juju get his first ring. It was just – he had that one drive. It was 4 straight catches. And, he was the main reason for that score on that drive. He really was. Just did his thing, real gritty. And, he did his job. They're always, doubling Kelce.
Sometimes I just wish he'd just shut up, though.
Yeah.
Him posting that on Instagram today is, I don't know, man. He signed a 1-year deal to be with the greatest quarterback in the game. Made $7 million. Wasn't really the reason they won a bunch of games, but was very solid throughout the year. And I love him. It's just, you just don't really have room to trash talk teams in whatever light it's in. When he had a good game, and there's no denying.
How many yards did he have?
He had 53 yards. He was their second leading receiver. He had 6 catches, and he played really well. So
it's one of the best games he's had in a very long time.
No, we had a lot of good games this year.
Nah.
He had a few 100-yard games this year.
I'm just not paying attention.
Yeah, you're not.
He plays behind the best tight end in the league.
Yeah, of all time.
Yeah. Amari Cooper doesn't play behind the best tight end in the entire league, but we'll just move on from that, I guess.
It's definitely top 5.
Amari Cooper receiver?
Huh?
Like top 5 Amari Cooper is a receiver?
No, that's not what I said.
He said Njoku.
David
Njoku's top 5.
Yeah, definitely.
Dog, what?
Yeah.
Kittle, Goddard.
I could name probably
Help
10.
me out.
Kelsey, Andrews,
Schultz,
Ertz. I'd have
Ertz,
Ertz on bench.
Zach Ertz.
Fryermuth.
Yeah, Pat. Honestly,
Yeah.
There's so many.
he's not top 5.
There's so many.
I don't know if he's
Yeah,
not
let's
good.
get off the Browns, bro. They didn't even.
Do you think they'll have anything
Mark
next year,
Andrews?
Doug? Mark Andrews, yeah.
I feel like we trade Deshaun Watson away and keep Jacoby Brissett. Brissett had so many better games than Watson. Even though
You
Watson,
said-
we trade
you said-
Deshaun Watson.
You trade
And we
Deshaun
want that?
Watson?
You said you want that, or you think it's gonna
Yeah,
happen?
I want it to happen. Because, bro, our defense needs to get better. It sucks. Why would you not trade somebody like? Because Jacoby did good. He won us like 6 or 7 games.
Bro,
Yeah.
nobody is
I mean,
taking
Deshaun Watson
on.
missed.
Nobody's taking on Deshaun Watson's max contract. I'm sorry. You guys have to live
Yeah,
with that.
they-
This is not happening.
They paid so much. They paid him too much, bro.
Yeah.
And I mean, he did just see it. What? It was 2.5 years since he played.
Give him a full off
Yeah.
season. He'll be fine.
I think he will be fine. I think you need to have a little bit of hope, Doug.
Trading
I
is
didn't the
crazy.
other day because I saw Nick Chubb said that he was tired of watching, and that concerned me.
Do you think the Browns have any hope for it with Deshaun Watson next year?
To like win the Super Bowl? No.
No, just
Maybe.
Can
I
it be a
mean, they
playoff
could
team?
maybe make in the playoffs.
Maybe.
Their defense really did screw them about 5 games this year, where they were up going into the second half or fourth quarter, and they just blew it.
I mean,
Really.
the problem isn't. I don't think the problem is they're bad. I think the rest of the division is better. I just think the Ravens are going to retain Lamar Jackson. I don't know why we still think Lamar Jackson's lead. It's just crazy to me that people think Lamar Jackson's not going to be in Baltimore next year. He's going to be back. They're probably going to make a move in the offseason, try to get their team better. I think Pittsburgh is, even in this year, they were better than Cleveland. So there's that. And then Cincinnati is who they are. They made the AFC Championship 2 years in a row. So, I mean, I don't think the Browns.
tough.
I don't think the Browns have any chance. They can't even win the division. They probably couldn't even come second in division next year, just because there's too much talent in the AFC North. It's one of the better conference, or one of the better divisions in the conference. So, in the league, really.
I don't know if there is maybe one more. The division's better than the North right now, AFC North.
I think the AFC West will be a lot better next year.
Yeah, the Chargers and Chiefs and
Yeah, I think the Broncos are going to be good next year.
hopefully, yeah.
And I think the Chargers will be better next year. I think the Raiders are probably going to take a step back, but
Now, why
Sean
do you
Payton
think the
answer?
Broncos are going to be good?
well, I
Sean
think the
Payton,
Broncos are going to be
Why
good
do you think it, bro?
because
Yeah,
Sean
Sean
Payton
Payton.
coached Drew Brees for his whole career, pretty much.
That is true.
And
They
Drew,
have a great defense. They just got to get an offense.
they have
I think Sean
one
Payton
of the
will.
best defenses in the league.
There's just no
I
way.
didn't think about that. I think Russ could work good with Sean Payton, honestly.
Yeah. So Doug
That's
doesn't think.
important.
I don't think Doug thinks so.
I don't
No,
know
no,
how
I think so.
you don't think that. That's just crazy.
They'll
I do.
definitely be better, for sure.
He might be better. He might
Yeah.
be better than the days he played for Pete Carroll. I mean, we know what Pete Carroll did with Geno Smith. I think he might be better than. It might be his best year yet. It could be. I would go that far. He has the weapons. He has the talent around him. He has a great coaching staff. I don't see any reason why he doesn't have his best year yet. And Denver finishes top of their conference.
Yeah, hopefully, their
Top of their
receivers.
conference?
Top in the top of their conference. In the top of their conference. I think they're one of the.
There.
On paper, they're one of the most talented teams in the league. Like, seriously,
They
take a
are,
step back and look at
That's
them.
just a big turnaround. What they finished
They
with
just-
It
fourth.
would be a big turnaround, but it's one of the greatest coaches
Was it
in the
only
history of the
4?
league. So,
Was it only 4 wins?
Yeah.
yeah.
I feel like
It's
4-12.
low number.
I
Look,
think
Bears
they'll be
have-
fine.
it would be a big turnaround, but also there's never
Maybe 4.
been more than, I think, 5 head coaches that got fired before they finished their first season. So it was clearly a coaching problem. It's not even up for debate. When you go from a guy like Nathaniel Hackett, who's never been a head coach anywhere before, to going to Sean Payton, who's won Super Bowls and led Drew Brees to his ultimately Hall of Fame career, who was undersized and had a weak arm. I mean, that changes things. It could be one of the biggest turnarounds in the league next year. I think they're contenders. I don't think there's any doubt about it.
Do you think Russ is coachable?
Yes,
Yeah.
I think he's coachable.
100%.
He's one of the more coachable quarterbacks in the league.
Yeah.
He's
I feel like he
coachable.
got an
Yeah.
ego about him, bro. Did you not see all that money he been scamming on that foundation or whatever? His charity was only giving like
Yeah,
27 cents
that
for
wasn't-
every donation.
that wasn't true though. That he came out and put that rumor to rest. That was not true. So Russ is what are you doing with this Russ slander? Russ is one of the better guys in the league.
Yeah.
What do you think about him?
He's got strong faith. He's a good family guy. Like,
He works
man,
out on planes. Like,
goodness.
what more can you ask
Yeah.
for?
Dude's a hard worker. I don't know why. Where's all the slander come from? One bad year.
Yeah,
That's
no.
crazy.
If their receivers stay healthy, Cortland Sutton, Jerry Jeudy, they battled with some injuries this year, even at the tight end position. Alberto and Greg Dulcich, they
Trying to
can
get
maintain
Gronk, too.
healthy. Yeah, if they're all healthy, bro. I think Jerry Jeudy is and Cortland Sutton. I think they're both probably top 25 receivers in the league.
Mhm.
So I think they can. I really do think the Broncos will be good next year. I do.
I agree.
But yeah, I'm ready for the Steelers next year. I don't know when we'll get to talk about football, NFL anytime soon, but hopefully we do. And I had a great time talking about football. And now we will boom on to basketball and a little bit of baseball probably. So appreciate y'all for tuning in. This is the Fant4sy Podcast. And we'll see y'all later. Peace.
Peace.